Welcome back to another tailoring tutorial. I am Lewis from Primo Tailoring, an aspiring gent, and I'm going to walk you through just how to quickly taper your dress pants. So for this tutorial, we are just going to be taking from the knee down to the hem. I'm going to be showing you how I mark it, how I go about sewing it, and how I piece it all back together. So first off, what you want to make sure is that your hem is undone. So for me, I've already marked the length, cut where I want it to be this way, so when I taper it, I can go all the way to the bottom and I don't got to worry about taking out stitching, cutting it weird. It's already set. So if you've got a top stitch, cut that out. If it's blind hem, rip that out. And then we'll get ready to start marking. So in this example, it is a little bit above the knee, but it's going to be the same process. So what I'm going to do is I know that this is where I want to end it. I'm going to take my chalk onto the inside of the pant, and I'm just going to mark that on the pant. I'm going to do it on both legs, just so I know my starting point. Then we want to figure out how much we need to take in. Normally, you can just pinch it when the person's wearing it to where it looks good, mark it, use that measurement. But what I typically like to do is use the end measurement. So like right here, we've got 9 inches. I want this to be closer to more like 7 3/4 or 8 inches. So I'm gonna take in about 1 inch on both sides, which translated into the half seam, we're taking a 1/2 inch on the seam. So when you're sewing, you're only going in a 1/2 inch, and it'll double on both sides, making it 1 inch on both sides, so 2 inches total is coming in. So let's take it over to the pressing station and get this all squared away. So with the pants turned inside out, you want to identify where your starting mark is and press those seams flat. This is just so that you can start making your marks to sew along. So we know that our hem is going up 2.5 inches. So what I want to do is I want to take in the bulk, so the 1/2 inch to 1 inch, 1/2 inch on the double, right at the bottom of this hem. And then from here, we're going to taper it back down to the original seam. That way when we turn it up for the hem, we don't have to worry about anything being too small. It gives us plenty of material to work with, so you have a nice clean transition at the bottom when you go to do your hem. So make sure you stop the max amount that you want to take in right at the bottom of the hem, taper it back, and then we're going to start working up the pant. This also is a reason why you would want to cut your hem first, so you know where you're starting and stopping. Otherwise, if the pant was another like 3 inches longer, you would have to try and guess all that, making it a little bit harder to do. So here we go. We're going to go up to about a roller's length, 12 inches. We're going to take in another 1/2 inch. Connect these 2 dots, and then we're going to go up to where our ending point is, and that's when we want to taper it. Start the edge of the roller into the old seam and connect where this line left off. Beautiful. So that is your mark to taper. We are just going to start up here in the old seam, and we're going to sew it all the way down into the hem, so we can do that on both sides. So here we are sitting at our machine. We've got our tension set up. We've got a 2.5 inch stitch length, straight stitch. So we're just going to set this machine up, going about 1 inch up into our old seam, and then we're going to run it right down on the mark we just made. So before we can go and press and finish this project, all we need to do is take out this line of stitching right here, the original stuff. Now, this has been done on a chain stitch machine because this is still the original seam. If you've done something that has already been altered or may not have a chain stitch, you're gonna have to go through and hand pick each and every one to get it open. Kind of time consuming. But if you are lucky enough to have a chain stitch like this guy, where it's got a ridge on this side and a single line of stitching on that side, that's how you know it's a chain stitch. You're pretty lucky because all you gotta do is find a section, lift it up, and pull it out.
Sorry, Chris can't answer the phone right now. He's too busy swallowing his own teeth.
So let's just open this up, take the stitching all the way out until where you taper it back in, which with the chain stitch it helps to break it off first so you don't accidentally take up the whole side seam. Also, you can clip up all these threads while you're at it. So let's pull this guy all the way out. There we go. Now we're just going to take this seam over to the iron, press it open like that, nice and flat, and you'll be able to turn up your hem. And this is the finished product. We've got everything tapered, we've got the hem put up. If you want to see how to do a blind hem, check my other videos. But this is it, very clean. You don't see much of a transition gap or anything like that. And now you are ready to rock your pants nice and slim. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys, and if you have any other requests or things you would like to add on or ask me, you can find all my contact info below. I'm on pretty much every social media, so you can reach out to me whatever is most convenient for you guys. Just as a bit of heads up for those who have been following the channel, we are doing a little bit of rebranding. The channel has been going very well, and I have a tailoring business called Primo Tailoring, and instead of the Aspiring Gent, I think I'm gonna go this route. So if you start seeing some branding changes, that's why. But otherwise, share, like, subscribe, all of that great stuff so that we can keep making great content for you guys and stay around YouTube for a lot longer. So have a great day and happy tailoring.